Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it is evening, 8 o'clock to be precise, on track at the one and only Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Down in Indiana, they changed what was a four-corner oval into this incredible infield track, much like the track at Daytona, where the track itself is very, very flat, but that in itself creates its own challenges. Tonight, the ISDA cohort take to the track for the first time in their GT3 machinery with the number 7 car at the moment. Makes it running down towards the end of the first lap, or is that is yes. Everybody slows up as we saw last week. It's getting a little bit more often that that's happening now, and I don't like it one bit. We never liked it in Formula 1, and we don't like it here either. Just do some laps and find yourself some clear air. That makes it goes for the loud pedal in that 720S, wiggles a bit ever so slightly. A little bit of traffic there. Welcome one and all to the International Sim Drivers Association. You will remember my voice, I hope, as the voice of Ike Sky, the ISDA commentator. And Marky Bob is already in chat. Good evening, my friend. Are you on track tonight? I didn't see your name, but I'm more than happy to be wrong on that. And if not, why not? We miss you lots. Oh, too wide. For is Miljevic in the McLaren, isn't it? Yeah, it is Miljevic. Very wrong. So Miljevic ran wide on the exit of, I believe that is corner 5. Yes, 5 and 6 is the chicane. Still getting everything just so for this. First of the times are coming in 1:35.6 for Aidan Doyle in the 85 Porsche. That will take him to pole provisionally, but we've seen times in the 1:34s tonight, so don't expect that position to stay so for the 85 Porsche. Drivers complaining last week that the Porsche was not quick enough around this Indianapolis circuit, very much a high-speed power circuit for the most part, but for sure Doyle is proving the haters wrong at the moment. Tadic has gone to the top in the 84 BMW, well, the 1:35.6, only 100th of a second ahead. The timing screens are going to be very, very, very tight tonight. The cream of the crop of the ISDA drivers out tonight. Who else is going faster? Mattia Mex in the Mercedes is sat up behind the number 11 Audi of Radcevic. Goes very wide into the final sector, and this looks like a very good time for the Mercedes driver. Who's that? The number 80. Let's go to the top as Dacusa comes round to close his lap out. Where's Dacusa gone? Great showing from the NSX. Great to see the older GT3 formula still getting attention. 6th and 7th for the Hondas, set the 2nd for Jonic in the 24 Honda. A lot of pace left in that NSX, as old as it may be. As we ride on board with Dacusa in that NSX. come around the inner loop. This is for turn 6, a long bank, flat left-hander, not an adverse camber. Very, very key to say that, because it does look as though it is, and it's very strange as well. When I first started driving on this track, that you are actually allowed to run out wide on that runoff area on the exit 7, sorry. Nice, neat and tidy through the 910 chicane. Oh, gets it all wrong on the exit. Is that going to be a tap on the wall? No, it's not. Up onto the banking. He's going to park it and go back to the pits, I think. He does. Mixic now in the 96. He is circulating around the 10th faster than he was before. I feel as though this might be a wind-up to a faster lap, however. So once again, drivers complaining that the Porsches don't have the speed. It's very clear that they are still up there with the best. How is Mixic doing at the moment? He's behind at the moment, but he did get traction down out of turn 2 and is marginally ahead on where he was before. Other drivers that are making progress. Paul Venter is half a second up on his previous times. It looks as though his time is still valid as well. That might be worth having a look at. Half a second for Venter could do him quite a bit of a favour, as Mixic running a little behind at the moment. A 10th down, but lots of time left yet to make that up as he comes into the tricky 910 sectors. Really difficult to get the car to behave through this right, left, right section. We're now on to the banking for just a moment. This next section put in, just in case you weren't aware, to counteract the loads of turn 4 into the pits for Mixic, and misses the pit entry as well. So got off the racing line, which was very considerate of him. But that is as far as he'll go. Otto Winkler will come through. He's 20th at the moment, but plenty of speed to be had in that Bentley as well. A few drivers have gone back to the pits. There's still 8 minutes left in qualifying, so this could be a new set of tyres. It certainly is for Matej Mixic, who leaves the pits now. So also Winkler is having a moment, he really is. Good evening to Steve Minton in chat, and good evening JR, good to see you in chat as well. Brooker, the pride of the south of England. That's a name and a title for sure. Where do we have drivers going faster? Brooker is on a bit of a tear. 2/10 up at the moment in the 130 is enough to put him almost up into the top 10 if he can keep this lap together. He's coming into the final sector as we stay with Winkler on camera. This could be, watch the timing screens on the left hand side, the 130 car, 14th at the moment. He's going to come across the line. It will push him up to 10th position. It's not safe by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a significant bump up the timing screens. It's a mouthful. It is a bit of a mouthful. He's also in this particular grid, pride of the south of England. No, that's fair. Dan Minton is in a very close fight for that pride of the south of England as well. I've got a lot of time for young Mr. Minton. Always enjoy listening to his escapades both online and offline. And if I put my teeth in, he's going faster, is Brooker. I've been told that the Porsche's slow. I believe this may have been some sandbagging, as the Porsche looks as though this could be a top 5 if he holds it all together. As Mattia Mex, by the way, for what it's worth, you can't see it at the moment, he has gone even faster with a 1:34.840 to provisionally take pole. I can't see many people beating that. Doyle in the 85 is doing his damnedest to make that happen, but it's all a little bit too difficult. Brooker comes across the line again. He's going faster. He goes to 8th position in that yellow 130 Porsche. Great to see. As Miksik now in the 96, also a Porsche, is going faster. He's coming into the final sector now in that 96. He's got some advantage, but won't go any further up the timing screens for now. So a couple of technical difficulties. We're just going to thank our sponsor for the series, SimRacing Pro. Thank you very much for sponsoring the awesome series of the International Sim Drivers GT3 Challenge. We'll see you after these messages.
Green light, give it all you can.
Impeccable timing from our race director. You've missed nothing from the closing minutes of qualifying. Mattia Mex still circulating, still trying to get more time out of that 886 Mercedes. He's obviously not feeling confident in the ability of that 134.8 to hold him in pole position. I don't think there's many people who can challenge him at this point. Broker has just crossed the line and pushed himself up to sixth position. Some incredible driving. From the yellow Porsche driver. Drivers who could be making a difference. However, as Zoran Jonic for the Pirate Racing Dalmatia team? I'm going to have to rely on someone else to tell me if that's correct or not. But the Honda NSX, with a new lease of life in GT3 racing, or at least on Assetto Corsa GT3 racing, thanks entirely to a balance of performance change. It's given it a lot of straight line speed. This isn't going to be good enough for pole, but this could put him alongside Matty MX in the 886. As he comes up towards the line. It is, the order becomes Mercedes 886, followed by the 24 Honda, followed by the 2 Porsches of Aidan Doyle and Matty MX. It looks as though, yes, it's thank you, Nicola. I appreciate. That said, and we're watching Aidan Doyle. Aidan Doyle, I saw that on the timing screen just now. He's going fast. He's not going fast enough for pole, but this could be building to something for that 85 Porsche. It's certainly an attempt. Oh, he's invalidated the lap. That's a shame. Who else is charging at the moment? It looks as though everybody has reached their peak performance. With a minute and 15 seconds left to go. There's a lot of split times jumping around. We could always, that's what I was going to do, was going to suggest. Slobodan Kostic, our very own Mali Bacho, I told you I still need to put my teeth in the 51 Ferrari, is improving by a few tenths of a second. This could get him a position in front of the 42 NSX of Paul Venter. It could get him up to Bellato's level, but it won't. He's 0.08 of a second out. Oh, the Zoran is... okay. That's fair. Let's try and ride on board with the Ferrari then for a lap. We've just gotten on the brakes through turns 1 and fed prop through turn 2. Turn 3 is a long right-hander into turn 4 where you get back on the brakes down to second or third gear. Really tricky. As we come through the long left-hander into what is normally the chicane, this will be the final lap for Mali coming up to the line. Back onto the throttle and then down the brakes for 8. Really, really heavy. Always way too slow. You have to go through there to get the car back across so you can cut across 9 and 10 and get the car back across again. I told you it's really complicated and difficult with these cars. They feel like barges when you're riding through there with the lack of downforce. Now out around turn 12, and then while you're still turning on the brakes into 13, try and take as much of that curb, take all of the curb if you're in a Bentley, and then through 14, fairly simple, and then keep the hammer down, let the traction control do all the work as you come out across 15, and take a big knock to the side for Kostic there. It's Kostic, isn't it? Not Kostic, isn't it? I have been saying his name wrong all this time. But of course, I know him better as Mali. Remco Langendijk, a man who we've missed. He's 2/10 up as he comes into the penultimate corner. Can he keep that Aston Martin in a straight and narrow trajectory. He does keep it all together, shortens the distance to the line, and will promote himself to 9th position. Great work from the Aston Martin driver. So, with 2 hours on the clock and a start time of 9 o'clock in the evening, the weather's looking clear for the time being, but that track temperature is going to come down. Let's run you through the starting positions for the second round of the International Sim Drivers Association GT3 Challenge fall season, autumn season, depending on where you are in the world. So leading us away from the green light will be Matija Meks in the 886 Mercedes. Zoran Jonic in the 24 Honda will pull up alongside him in second. Aidan Doyle for the 85 and Sanel Tadic will form the second row with a Porsche 911 and BMW M4 GT3 respectively. I am astounded to see those Porsches so high up. The way the Pirate Racing guys were talking last week, they sounded as though they weren't very confident at all. Maciej Miksik in the second Porsche will start fifth with Stulic in the 233 Honda alongside him. Andrew Brooker in the 130 will start in seventh with Nidazak in the 488 GT3 Evo number 89 car in eighth. Remco Langendijk and Dan Minton will form up the fifth row, with Igor Krisnic and Dakuza in the 11th and 12th positions. Bolato and Radicevic will start in 13th and 14th, with Zoricic and Miljevic taking 16th and 17th respectively. Slobodan Kostic and Paul Venter will start 17th and 18th. They will be very, very interesting to see fighting over the course of the race. Both of them very clean and very confident with the performances of their cars, respectively. D. Dunster will start in 19th, with Miljevic alongside in 20th in that McLaren 720S. Otto Winkler will start in 21st, with Marsic. That is a new character to me. Ivan Marsic, I'm going to go with for the time being. Niall Bullion will follow up the end of the field. And we have a full warm-up lap of this Indianapolis circuit before we go live for the second round of the International Sim Drivers Association GT3 Challenge Autumn Season for 2022. And now, should we have a word from our sponsors, dear race director? An official word in the right place. A quick word from our sponsors, Sim Racing Pro. On board with Remco Langendijk then, the hard charger in the later stages of qualifying. Look how dark it is. The visibility in this game is just grueling, and it leads to some of the strangest incidents of drivers coming around blind corners to find cars in their path. The headlights just can't see. I think they're ghosted on this. So you will notice that there is no minimum amount of pit stops in this race. A one stop is highly unlikely. Very highly unlikely, in fact. But if someone commits to it right from the very start, it could be possible. The length of this pit lane is grueling, so track limits are going to be absolutely critical to keep an eye on. It's between 30 and 40 seconds that you will lose just in a drive-through. So if you aren't too clever on the pit entry as well for those pit stops, you may find yourself being stuck almost a lap down, as the penalty will be so severe. Eyes on the 36 car. As we come round to form up as the pack scatters, getting in on the brakes. It's one of the things that is unfortunate about Assetto Corsa is the way that it forms the grid up. It makes for a bit of a mess in this phase of the start. Not really very natural. Take a breath. I promise you it'll be your last for at least the next 2 hours, as the drivers come round the final corner, hopefully in position, and hopefully we don't have any drive-throughs. Odd positioning from that Ferrari of Nida Zak. There's quite a bit of space being left there. I'm sure he's sticking to where he should be. We wait for the segment to go green, and here we are, away for 2 hours of Indianapolis. Everybody's away clean and very sensible for the time being. Here we get down in towards turn 1, however. They are 3 and 4 wide across the track coming down into turn 1. Is there anything? Oh, there's a spin at the front, and that has wreaked havoc already. Oh, and the BMW rejoining has knocked out one of the Pirate Racing drivers as well. That will, I think, result in an incident in some kind of penalty, because that was a very unsafe rejoin by the BMW. I'm not going to speculate too hard, but it seems that that would be rather sensible. The cars come through the extended sector of the track for the first time of asking, and it is line astern as they come down the back straight, the infield straight. Heavy on the brakes. This is going to be pretty much even for the Porsche versus the McLaren party. Cars to watch out for will be that sole BMW, the two BMWs, that is Senel Tadic and Igor Krisnic, for the braking zones. Still way too powerful are those M4s to my perspective. Look how much he closed up just under braking there. And then into and out of the final corner. That is lap 1 done. Across the line, a 4.5 second gap for the 886, with the Porsche 85 Vaden Doyle behind. Nida Zak is not pressuring either, but Dan Minton in the 888 Aston Martin has made his way all the way to 4th already, being hounded by that number 3 BMW that we have the camera on at the moment. Zoricic in the 175 Audi has also done significant work to get up into that top 6. Slobodan Kostic in the 51 has made his way all the way to 7th. Remember, he was starting all the way down in 16th, 17th area before. Who picked up Jonic? No idea. We had 2 camera angles and it was too dark to be able to see. I'm very sorry. Don't worry, we do have live stewarding, so we will very soon find out. Jonic was... where is he? 24th car. I'm surprised that didn't bring out the safety car, actually. Presumably all of the drivers back running fairly quickly. Oh, this is brave in the final corner. Almost 3 wide as the Ferrari backs out of it. Not the final corner. It's the second to last corner. It's all very confusing here. Ferrari makes a place on the BMW, now with the Audi ahead. That is the 51 car, oh, the 85 car of Aidan Doyle. That will be that then. Mathieu Mex with the fastest time as the Ferrari goes defensive.
This is the race control, now investigating incidents in lap 1, turn 1.
That's understandable, I've got to admit. Oh, as the BMW's outbraked himself, gone off wide in turn 1, had to rejoin in turn 2. Now that, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with those altercations through the first lap. That was a very big incident, and I daren't say what the problem actually was. It looks as though someone outbraked themselves, but we were looking everywhere. Can we get a replay of that first lap incident? It's a difficult one. It's really rare for the incidents to come at the start of the head of the field. So, is that replay is not happening at all now, or is that just the start of the race? Because I had issues with mine before that caused it to be entirely wrong the entire time. Perfect, thank you. So, Victoria's Secret Racing hunting down the Ferrari of Slobodan Kostic by qualifying pace. Whoa, big slide by the Ferrari. That was very, very nice by Slobodan there. And brave. Really brave. So, oh, that's almost a touch by the 233 as well. On the back of Remco Langendijk there. He's looking for a way past, is the Honda. It's not going to happen there. You'll have to try harder than that as well to put the heebie-jeebies up. Langendijk, he's not a nervous rider at all. We've seen lots of stalwart shows, displays of defense as the 130 is on defensive. It looked like against the McLarens behind, or maybe that's going past. I think that may be going past actually. No, still on the defensive for the 130. I dare say there may be a little bit of damage on that Porsche. Yeah. So Remco Langendijk's looking to get past the 51 Ferrari again on the start-finish straight. Separated by 0.0 of a second into turn 1. NSX trying to squeeze through the inside as well. They almost go 3 wide. The Aston Martin has the inside for turn 2, but then the outside for turn 3. Can he hold it around the outside? The front engine will give him more stability on the brakes. He has to concede, but he's still around the outside through turn 4. Turn 5 is a more or less flat jaunt, and now he has the inside for the corner that matters. The very long turn 6, and can the Ferrari, that's the slightest bit of contact for the Ferrari, loses 2 places. Really unfortunate for Kostic there. But terrific work by Langendijk, even with the NSX pressuring behind. And now it is the Ferrari's turn to stake a claim on the positions that he just lost. Meanwhile, is that BMW? That BMW is for position as well. So this is now a 4-car train over 6th position. It is currently Remco that is winning that fight, but not by much. The 223 tries to go to the outside, tries to get the cutback, but now he's going to have the outside line once again, but he could have an overspeed. We know the NSX has been given a bump in straight line speed. Does he have anything over the NSX, the Aston Martin ahead of him? Brilliant perspective to be sat in the Ferrari's dashboard. He looks to the inside. He's going to be on the brakes if he does it at all. down the inside, and Remco gives best if that's what the NSX wants to do, but he goes wide and the Aston takes the position back. That's a clean re-entry, I think, for Stulic in the 233 car. But all the while they're bickering and fighting here, they are letting the cars ahead get away. Langendijk with a 3-second gap to the car in front, and that 5th position is going to be hard fought for, even if he can make his way to the back of the Audi, because of the strength of that car in a straight line. Ask me how I know. You can keep with the Ferrari in that thing. BMW then looking for a pass on the 51. Now the 3 car is going to have to be very careful here. He knows that name, does Krasnic. He knows the driver. What can he do about the pace of the white Ferrari? Nothing at the moment. Big moment on the brakes. So into turn 1, the Aston's already given best. Who is he defending from though? That's Minton. Minton's now up behind the Ferrari of Nida Zak. It's 2 white Ferraris being chased by, or were being chased by Aston Martins in fights with Aston Martins. I got very confused then and wondered how the 36 had fallen back behind the 51. But no, this is the fight of a third. Minton has made his way to the back of the white Ferrari of Nida Zak, and this has only been 10 minutes of the 2 hours that we have to appreciate. Hard work is good. We're going to have some very tired drivers by the end of this stint, especially the ones with high motion rigs and direct drive wheels. I wouldn't want to be one of those drivers come the end of some of these stints. I suppose that's one of the good things about the pit lane being so long, is that you do actually get quite a bit of time to have a breather. Carrying debris across the inside of the track for the Ferrari. What can the Aston do? I don't think the Aston has an answer for the Ferrari in a straight line. It's going to be, I think, Minton attached to the back of that Ferrari until we get to the pit stops, and then Minton will do what he always does, what he's absolutely excellent at, and calling a strategy to leapfrog the car ahead. BMW goes for the outside pass. Now it cuts down in towards the Ferrari. That was a bit rude on the number 3's part, but clean driving still. I think ever so slightly, because the 51 yielded the corner when he saw the accident coming. What can the Ferrari do now though? You've got to admit that maybe in the draft of the BMW there might be some straight line performance to be had. He's getting so much oversteer. That is looking so floaty for a Ferrari. The prancing horse is certainly prancing, but perhaps not in the way that Mali is wanting at the moment. What else do we have around? Jonic is going for the pass on D'Couza. This is NSX versus NSX now. Coming down in towards the final sector. He's got the apex, but the 80 car can, or it could fight back, but will just make the space. I think D'Couza knew that Jonic was a much faster car and didn't want to fight a losing battle, I dare say. So an easy pass in the end for the 24 car as he marches back up towards the head of the field. Lot of work left to do for the Pirate Racing driver. Meanwhile, the 130 Porsche has been slowly but surely making his way up the field as well. On the brakes in towards turn 1, it looks as though he may have slightly outbraked himself, but that is just as quick. Pretty much perfect timing there for Brooker. And the 11 Audi in front looks as though he's holding him up, Radosevich, in that Audi. But comfortable at the moment. That goes so wide. That can't be the fastest route out of that turn 7, sorry. No penalties for the first lap as yet. You'll see them appear on the tower on the left-hand side of your screen if it all comes to. Jonic has now made his way back up to the 11th position car as well. Matej Miksik is hunting down. Oh, this is Porsche versus Ferrari. A very difficult matchup. Big on the brakes. Can the Porsche get it stopped though? Ferrari tries to go around the outside, keeps the position for the time being. We've seen this fight before. Slobodan's not having it the second time. Cuts the nose of the Porsche off. Very fair racing by both. Miksik is eager to reclaim that 9th position though. Goes out wide to try and get the best apex speed. Keeps it nice and tight, but is going to be held up as the Ferrari gets back to the apex through turn 7. Out onto the back straight they come. Ferrari should be quick in a straight line and should be able to lead the 96 away. It's going to have to be done on the brakes or through some very, very clever driving. Matej is the kind of man to drive clever. So we should expect to see that 96 car challenging very, very soon for that 9th position. Dan still in 4th position, trying to hunt down the 89. Super clean racing as always, thanks to Minton, Steve Minton in the chat. Some terrifying racing tonight, I think you'll suggest. Oh, as Miksik goes for the line on the Porsche. No, this is Jonic. Jonic's putting the move on the 96, and there is a backwards car on the exit of turn 1. So Jonic has the pass made easy by his teammate, and now 1, 2, 3 cars going wide. What's happened for... Which car is that that's stuck on the outside of turn 1? It's moved now. I think it was an NSX. Ah, it's Stulic. 233 car. Where's he dropped to? He's dropped quite a long way down the field. I assume he's had some kind of incident. Meanwhile, Jonic now looking for the pass on Kostic. Difficult place to pass here. No matter how good your car or you are, it could happen on the brakes into turn 13. It might well happen. The Ferrari's not going to... Oh, the Ferrari is going to come in towards the apex, but the car was already alongside. The Porsche could be flashing from one of the league organisers to one of the drivers, but the pass is made. We'll see if that has any action taken either mid or post-race. Now the Porsche up underneath the draft. The Ferrari has the speed in a straight line to walk away from the Porsche 911. It's going to have to be done, as I said, on the brakes. On the brakes around the outside, though. It could happen. He now has the inside, forces the Ferrari offline, where it has The 51 gone. He went wide through turn 2, it looks like, and then that is the place conceded. So 2 corners, as many positions lost for the 51 at the moment, and now the 14 car is trying to make his way past as well. Dennis Bellato is a man well versed in this league as well. Oh, looks like the Ferrari doesn't quite have the straight line pace for whatever reason. Some really half-hearted attempts at passes going on here. Meanwhile, the NSX of D'Couza and the 720S of Miljevic getting together behind. Miljevic makes the pass in the scrum that was going on ahead. And just behind there's BMW, the 84 car of Tadic.
This is race control. Stop and go, 10 seconds penalty for car 85 for causing a collision. Now investigating incident between cars 84 and 96, lap 1, turn 2.
Aidan Doyle has stopped on track. So what has happened there? Is that a disconnect? I think it might be. I think that's a disconnect. Yep. It's Aidan Doyle, a disconnection. That would be very convenient timing if that isn't some kind of rage quit. Not the best camaraderie that we're used to seeing from ISDA here. What else do we have going on around the rest of the track, however? A long line of cars up behind the 51. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. Oh, 6 cars. Come on, I can count. Up behind the white Ferrari, trying to make their way past. But it's a difficult track to get passes on. The car performance is not high enough to be able to make some level of differential as the 720S goes for the dive. Almost looked like a punt there. I think the performance on the number 7 car is a little bit higher than perhaps the 14 in front through that final sector. And now the Mercedes, having cooked its tyres, cooped up behind the Ferrari, is starting to drop back ever so slightly. He's not going to get any respite if he does, though, because there are a number of cars looking to hunt the positions that he is inhabiting at the moment. Stulic about to make a position, it looks like. Oh no, that's going through the initial sector. Andrew Brooker into the pits. This isn't a penalty. So is this a strategic call? I don't think he's... No, I think he's got too much damage to be able to run either safely, or he's not got any pace, and so is struggling to keep with the pack. So pit for damage and go from there. Radosevich, meanwhile, is out on his own in the number 11. Stulic is still hunting down the 84 of BMW and the 233. Stulic, who, let's not forget, went wide and spun on the exit of turn 1, seemingly on his own, which I would like to have a word with him later on into the race. How does that NSX fare against the BMW? He has an overspeed. Is it enough to make it happen? Not in the slightest. BMW on the brakes. Meanwhile, Ferrari still under immense pressure from behind from the chasing drivers. Oh, this could be a crucial position. Oh, as Kostic goes defensive, keeps the place. Really, really good driving from both of them there. It's always this just outside the top 10 or just in the lower echelons of the top 10. That's where all the fighting is for these races. This could be a big dive for the 14 if he can get it together. No, it's an even bigger dive for number 7 around the outside. 14 was sizing up for a pass, then falls into the clutches of the McLaren. I am shocked at how good that 720S is under the brakes. 14 car, I think, may be ever so slightly shook from that attack from Iljevic. Has straight line speed over the Ferrari, but I don't think he's going to get it done in the length of the start-finish straight. No, the Ferrari is quite happy to take the racing line through turns 1 and 2. But this is vicious fighting from the top 15. And Brooker is out as well. Oh, so either through damage or through technical issue, we'll have no more of Brooker. Thank goodness he retired to the pits before quitting out from the racetrack, though. Still watching as the 13th becomes 14th for D'Couza. As further down the field, the 233 making even more work has gotten past. Ooh, that is a mistake by D'Couza, isn't it? As the BMW gets on the brakes on the inside of the NSX, can't make it happen through there though. Puff of dust on the outside as someone has taken to the grass. And again, who is that? It's the 42 of Paul Venter. Doesn't look happy with the 233 car. More flashing lights coming into the final sector as the 10th place Bellato, does he make it on the 51? He does, but the 51 comes back on the inside through turn 2. Through turn 3, the Ferrari might have the stability and the pace to be able to keep it around the outside. Well, we've seen this is how the 51 lost the place last time, but now he's on the opposite side. Kostic has learnt and is now not conceding that position, but it's too late and the Mercedes has the track position. Ferrari looks back on the inside, but that's going to have him on the outside for turn 7. Can he keep it around the outside? This is tooth and nail, and behind them the number 7 car also fighting with Stulic in the 233. Massive bout of cars here. Coming through the chicane in the second sector. Mercedes now. Oh, and that's the 720S off. And I think he just about avoided the wall there. And was that contact? No, it wasn't. He just, I know what. Oh, it was a punt. It was a touch from behind from, I think that was Stulic? Yeah, so Stulic, the 233 car, getting in all the fights as he's hit the back of the 51 car as well now. A punt to pass in the most unlikely of places on the exit of the penultimate corner. Big punt as well. It was from the NSX. Questionable driving standards in the night here at Indianapolis, and now the Ferrari has to live. with the pace. As Tadic has been given a drive-through, I feel as though we have an incoming decision.
Is the race control drive-through penalty for car number 84. Now investigating collision between cars 82 and 7 in lap 1, turn 3. Penalty for car 84 is for causing collision after unsafe rejoin.
And that is the decision for all of the turn 1 incidents. And another punt! And this time from a BMW for the Ferrari. It's not been a good night tonight. However, with Tadic now pushed behind the 80 car, so D'Couza slowly making backup places as well. Good work for the 80 car. Perhaps having a bit of a buffer. The 51 isn't quite going to get punted as much by the NSX as the 84 car goes to serve his penalty. We are a quarter of a way through this race now. And so much action we've seen just in this half an hour. NSX has the straight line speed on the Ferrari. Never thought I'd say that. But ducks out from behind the draft and loses all that speed. Will it happen on the brakes? No, it looks as though they are going to go line astern into turn 1. Just as they entered, the Ferrari and the NSX will leave. The walk of shame. We just stick with this for a second because this is how long this pit lane is. Now there's traffic obviously going on around the rest of the track, but this is 80 Ks and stuck all the way down here, all the way until this line. And that is the 84 car last, I think, by, unless it's Miljevic that has, no, he is 20th out of 21. And from where he was in, I think he was around 14th, 15th, he is now at least 40 seconds behind. I feel someone has done better maths than me. 1 lap with the leader. I vote for 1 lap with the leader. I think that's the only reason the only time we're going to be able to see the 886 car, because that Mercedes is absolutely on fire and on rails. Brooker in the YouTube chat, commiserations for you, mate. If you want to come and have a chat, you're more than welcome to. Obviously remembering that it's all live and stream free here on YouTube. Oh, outbraking himself big time is Max, so he's still pushing. Still trying to get the best out of that Mercedes. But it's not easy. I'm doing good, Andrew, thank you. Honestly, happy to be back behind the mic. Would be even happier to be behind the wheel in one of these races. It has been very crowded this season. A lot. I think people are starting to get a little bit too confident, a little bit too trusting in the cars around them. If this were a more aero-dependent series, I would suggest that it would be warranted. But with these hulking, great big GT3 cars, it's really difficult. That was a lap with Matty MX. Wonderfully turned out car, but I think the setup on that 886 Mercedes might be a touch better than the paintwork. D'Couza looking up the inside of Paul Venter here as, is that going to be the 51 car down another position? I think it is. As the 11 car is making hay. Radosevich getting very, very twitchy as now Matej Miksik looks up the outside. Who is this against? This is Remco Langendijk. Oh, it feels like these two have been attached by a short piece of string the entire race. Side by side, they go through turn 8 and now through the chicane, bumping across the inside. Does the Porsche, trying to put off the Aston Martin, but there's so much stability in the Aston Martin V8. But can the Porsche get the traction off of the corner, out of turn, oh, which corner is that? That's turn 12. That is, he gets it done even before the braking zone. That was a corner, that was a pass, at least 5 corners in the making, and hard fought for and well earned by the 96 Pirate Racing Porsche. Remco Langendijk drops 1 position down to 8th then, but will live to fight another day, which is the most important thing. Oh, but has the straight line speed on the Porsche. He's not going to make it happen into turn 1, but that is quite a lot of straight line speed for the Aston Martin versus the Porsche. I dare say the Porsche might be running quite a bit of downforce to be able to give it that handling and boost off of the corners. It is NSX versus NSX further down the field as well, and that's the first Winkler. Bentley versus Porsche, that's over 16 position as well. Meanwhile, let's go to the 24 car. We've had plenty of requests for him during the course of the race so far, but he has absolutely big switch from mixing there. This isn't over yet. The Aston Martin is slower through here. Really unfortunate for the performance. Aston can't quite live with the Porsche's handling. This is fine. I'm just trying to think of what's going on around the field. We need to have a look at Jonic in the. Oh, Steve. Sorry, gents and ladies, a couple more. And this will be race director.
This is race control. Time penalty 5 seconds for car 82 for causing collision. Now investigating collision between cars 998 and 84 in lap 1, turn 14.
Race control super busy tonight. Then for the night race, one of the night races of this season. Oh, as the 24 car getting very close to that BMW now. What's going on with Noel Bullion? Car still, I think. Gas, I agree. Ah, Dalmatian. Hello there, Mario Dalmatian. Welcome to the chat. I assume that is, a big slide for the Boolean driver. Here to learn this course, I think, in that car. Oh, now here we go. How good is the NSX versus the BMW? It's going to be a difficult fight if the NSX is going to gain any ground over it. Down the back straight, it looks as though the BMW has the measure up for the time being. But now we get into the twisties. What can the 3-car do to defend against? Meanwhile, Dan Minton has pushed himself all the way up to second position, has taken Nidazak off camera. He must have done that in a heartbeat. I just looked up the top of the screens. He didn't even register as being close to the car on the timing screens. That must have been... It was done recently as well. What a showing for the 888 driver. As around the final corner, what's the NSX like in a straight line compared to the BMW? You race towards the wall on the outside. Interestingly, he's ducking out of the slipstream. Maybe expecting the BMW to go defensive early. But a formidable drive back through the field after a lap 1 incident for the 24 car. Back to 6th so far. Remember, the NSX, I'm pretty sure, Jonic. See, this teaches me for not doing my homework before the stream. I have my excuses though. Let's just very quickly so there's 2 teachers that won. Philippe Baravet's 2nd, Baronet's 3rd, Jonic was 4th. There we go. So Jonic, having finished in 4th position, highest of the drivers who are running today. Oh my goodness. So Brooker was disqualified for speeding in the pit lane, not acquitted due to the damage. So a miserable end to a miserable evening. I am astonished. Actually, is there a... Hang on, can I... What happened there? Because that only happened a lap ago for the 888 car. Let's see if we can... see what's happened. It's not there. Just doing some mild detective work to try and find out where that 89 car lost the position. It's been for a while as well. But that's some astonishing pace. It was an overtake. And he'd been quite close as well. So, Dan Minton driving with a level head on his shoulders as always. Didn't end up needing to wait for the pit stops to come to him. Or as the 24 car keeps taking jabs, keep taking pokes. It's what the BMW would have. I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to get that. It's been a little while since the pass was made. I would love to give that to you, but it's just been a technical issues kind of night up here in the comm box as well. What we can watch, however, is this fight over 5th position. The 24 car still hunting for a way past the BMW further down the field. The 233 car still trying to find a way past the 14 Mercedes as well. That's not going to be pushed out of the way lightly either. And D'Acusa still trying to hunt Paul Venter. BMW goes defensive into left-hand kink. Through the chicane they come now. The NSX just looks a whole lot more sorted than the BMW. It was done in the first sector, I know that much. I didn't get the exact occurrence, but it was, yeah. Oh, that BMW is getting a little bit long in the brake pedal by the looks of it for number 3. I'm not on the ISDA account. Arthur? YouTube chat. Big dive it was for the 24. The 3 car went to turn in anyway. That is a pass done for 5th position, however. Sorry, the bots invaded at the wrong time. But that is the pass for 5th position by Zoran Jonjic. Is 18th to 5th now in that Pirate Racing NSX. What a terrifying thing to see for any drivers left in the Zoricic, the 175 in 4th has had bad pressures, so now there will be, once the pit stops begin to unravel. Give me just a second, I'm going to try and fix this. Because then I can actually... There we go. Then I can help as well. That was a sensible thing to do. Right, back to the racing. Damn bots. So this is David Dunster hunting down Otto Winkler. Winkler, this is going to be a... He's going to go as soon as possible into the box. Now, this is going to be interesting. So, Zoricic is a... What's his strategy in that Audi? I know that the Audi can go about 1 hour and 10 minutes. So, is he going to get into the box as soon as possible and try and go as long as possible in the remaining 2 stints? Or is he going for the... Or is he going for the hour to divide this into 2? As Stulic in the 233 hunting down the Mercedes of Bellato. This car has been in the wars throughout the race. It looks as though he is not quite used to the performance envelopes of the cars around him. It should be very interesting to see what that NSX does with the Mercedes. We've seen quite a few touches on the front of that 233 NSX. One on the head of the ISDA as well.
Control. Time penalty 30 seconds for car 84 for causing collision. Now investigating incident between cars 36 and 233, lap 11, turn 1.
How many incidents do you have left, briefly, while you're here?
How many incidents? There are a lot of incidents because of close racing, so door rubbing.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like 10 incidents or something, like 15. But
good
it's,
luck.
Yeah.
Thank you for your hard work.
we will see.
Yeah. So, jumping on board with the 233, where is this hunt going to take us? They've been attached by a fairly short bungee rope for quite a while. There are no penalties involved in this race that we need to be concerned about, but that Mercedes is doing a stalwart job of keeping the NSX behind. You can see that the 233 has extra pace. It seems as though, and he's going to hate me for this post-race, but it seems as though the T33 lacks a bit of racing nous, does Carlos Stulic. I don't recognise his name, so we'll have to get his story. But for sure, the 233 Pirate Racing Dalmatia car is fast. Very, very, very fast. Just perhaps a little bit prone to mistakes at the moment. I wonder if he has just given up on attacking the Mercedes for the time being. He will fall back ever so slightly as he bobbled the curb through the chicane. Oh, but on the brakes, it looks so stable, so much more in control than the Mercedes ahead. 14 car goes for a late apex. But that is as much of the attack that we're going to see at the moment. Can the NSX get the straight lines over speed though? Coming across the start-finish line, it looks as though Mercedes has actually got a large enough gap to be able to keep the NSX behind for the time being, unless it's going to happen on the brakes. It's a big, 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 big concertina effect for the 233. And a look up the inside. The 14 car is going to give best in the end, but then goes for a cutback. Beautiful line by the 14 car. Excellent driving by Bellato. 233 was not expecting the 14 car to be there. Is going to hold it around the outside now through the long left-hander. Can he do anything though on the cutback to get back at that NSX? You have to question. Maybe that's not going to happen here. It's a shame. That was a good fight. This is one of those things. I think I know what happened with the Mercedes, because there was an air gap between the two cars. He was able to take the position. He was able to take his racing line. That would have been absolutely fine. But the rear view cameras in ACC seem to have a really weird zoom effect that makes it feel like the car is in the rear bumper. Really disconcerting when you're driving, and has been an incident, a cause of accident for myself for sure. What an exhilarating race, and it's only about to get better as the pit stops will soon begin to cause even more issues. Ever so slightly upset that none of the drivers have come to see me in the really upset to see that we aren't getting any of the drivers coming through to give us an interview. Oh, and what is that Audi? Is that the Audi? That's some odd decision making. Marsic in the 25 car for Pirate Racing in Slavonia. I better pronounce that wrong as well. Sorry, Mario, that wasn't on purpose. As long as you can keep yourself from swearing, I'm pretty sure that we can take anything that you say. But I think the gaps have ever so slightly spaced out a bit now. No, I can well imagine, Andrew. I really can. I say it might be easier to just get out your system. I don't know your own coping mechanisms though. So as we come down to halfway through the race now, the gaps are starting to come apart, all apart from the 24 car of Zoran Jonic, involved in the first corner incident that that caused so many issues through the course of this race. And so many penalties have been handed out for, but he is doing hard work to get back to the top of the stack. Brilliant driving from the 24 car. Excellent restraint when it's been needed. And perhaps just enough luck to make it happen. No, that's cool, Andrew. As long as you're alright, mate. That's the main thing. NSX is closing.
This is the race control. Drive-through penalty for car 233 for causing a collision. Now investigating incident between cars 24 and 51, lap 11, turn 14.
I did say avoid the drive-through penalties at any cost, whether that be track limits or the ire of the stewards. Yes. The 233 has been involved in a lot of incidents today. I'm not surprised to see that penalty come through. 24 car playing very, very reserved with the 175 Audi here. Zoricic, we know, is struggling with tyres, so perhaps we could see him bail to the pits in the very near future. That would free up the NSX to go hunting after Nida Zak in the 89 Ferrari, who let's just have a brief round of a brief moment for Nida Zak, who has come from what has been a fairly torrid string of results to come all the way back to third position. This is the driving that we know he's capable of. This is the performance that we know that 89 Ferrari is capable of pulling out of the bag. Really is a night for the classics tonight, with Matthew X, Dan Minton and Nida Zak at the head of the field. I get this warm feeling of deja vu, complaining about how I've not commentated Minton winning, but this is the closest we've seen him in a while in that Aston Martin. Great to see him doing so well, and with a 5-second gap to Nida Zak to the rear as well. Plenty of space for the Aston to run his laps and get towards that pit stop. Stulich into the pits. Remco Langendijk is in the pits. Dakuza into the pits. So the 36 and the 80 both into the pits at the same time. This will be key for the battle to the end of the race. As that 24 car continues to hunt, it looks as though he might have a slight straight line advantage coming down into 12. He gets it done. The 175 doesn't even fight it when Jonic went for the dive. Absolutely nothing to fight with for the Audi driver. And now a mere 3 seconds up the road, the NSX sets his sights on the Ferrari of Nida Zak. This is not over yet for the podium, at least, let alone the overall win. I'm also excited to see what Zoricic has to show for us with the pace that he's had over the course of this race, knowing that the tyres have not been up to temperature or pressure for the Audi driver. Very excited to see what that 175 car will do given the right pressures. Nida Zak, meanwhile, still a long way behind Dan Minton, but is soon going to have company in the form of Zoran Janic. Zoran? Is that? What is that? What's going on there? That is Ferrari versus Audi. I can't see where that is on the track, however. That is 11 versus 51. That's what it is. So 51 car looks like it's trying to attack the 11. Oh no, these are laps apart. That was the car being lapped, I think. So Tadic with a 30-second penalty to be served in the pits, a 5-second penalty for Otto Winkler, which will drop him back towards Remco Langendijk in that 36 Aston Martin, who has fallen back as well through the course of this race. Nida Zak has fallen back now even further from the Triple Eight car. It's only going to be a matter of time. Let's stick with this Aston Martin for a few seconds and appreciate just how much of a grasp Minton has on this car at the moment. Beautifully turned out Victoria's Secret Racing car as well. 11 car pits. There's Radosevich to the pits. So calm and collected for that Triple Eight car. It might not be the fastest tonight, but it is up there with the best, and it is absolutely earning the title. Do you know what? Looking at the times, Minton into the pits. Minton has cried enough as the timer clicks across the hour mark. Finds the pit line safely, and that is the top three into the pits as well. Nida Zak to the pits as well. Jonic is going to be let loose with nothing in front of him, and now he needs to make the strategic call. Does the 24 car to drive hell for leather to see how much of a gap he can close down to those podium places. As Mattia Mex leaves the pit lane. 96 cars going slowly. What's happened there for Miksik? That looks like an incident for him. Oh, did he get loose over turn 2? No. BMW's going slow. Oh, is he going to go for a hard pass up the inside? No. Oh, that's what it was. BMW going too slow, and the 96 car just trying to avoid. So Mex drops as far as 6th in the order. I think that's going to be a penalty for Miksik, but I feel sorry for him for sure. That was not, I don't think that was intentional whatsoever, or anywhere close to it. And where have the Triple Eight and the 89 car come out? The Triple Eight car has come out in clear air. The 89 car has come out in traffic. He's got 2 cars between himself and the Triple Eight ahead. That is the 82, which gets well out of the way in the 998 Miljevic McLaren. That will hopefully get out of the way, but not ideal for the 89 car fighting over that second position. Jonic still stays out as the rest of the drivers behind, apart from Mattia Mex, who has already pitted, as Nida Zak gets it all wrong. Big kick of oversteer, it looks like, as he tried to get... Oh, he got it all wrong through. Oh, he got it all wrong through the chicane, and then just had no traction as the car bumped across the grass. It's one of those things you absolutely have to avoid. Really unfortunate for him there, as Matej Miksik pits from 4th. Jonic still yet to make a pit stop. He is making the most of the tyres that he has left, and now just has to try and overcome the deficit as he pits now. There we go. Jonic has made the tyres go as far as they can. And they will cry no more for the remaining hour, remaining 56 minutes of this race. Minton retakes second position comfortably. No, it's not comfortable yet, I don't think. How much work has the 24 car done? Remember, it's an incredibly long pit straight. Mex has only just gone past now. Is the 24 car rolling it? No, he is not. He is rolling now. The Minton car is coming round into the final sector. Oh, this is gut-wrenching. I think he's done enough to overtake the 89 car in the pits. Has he done it for the 888 car? I have eyes on the 888 car. He's on the start-finish straight now.
This is the race control. 5 seconds time penalty for car 24 for causing a collision.
And that is the 888 car through back into second position. And that is the 24 car exiting the pits. So the gap has definitely come down. 5 second penalty for 24 car. Was that what we just heard? I must admit, ever so slightly spaced there for a second. So more work to be done then for Jonic. 5 second penalty. Yeah, it was. I was trying to count down seconds and position cars on track using 2 camera angles. That is not fun, I tell you. Because the timing screens are useless in ACC. So Jonic now 7.8 seconds is the gap, but critically, the 888 car, which is being driven masterfully, as always, by Minton, is able to match. That's what I will say. Their fastest laps are half a second apart. Their actual laps are more or less consistent with each other. So Niall Bullion circulating half a second behind David Dunster. I believe Bullion is a one-time entrant for tonight, as I've just had a wonderful crash from Assetto Corsa. Thank you kindly. And Paul Venter too. Is Venter in a battle here? Is this... Venter's made a mistake. Learning the Indianapolis road course, has come across the chicane and took too much curb. Yep. When I was running this in LFM, that was a mistake made many times by a lot of people. And once again, being in an ISDA race does not mean that you're not going to make mistakes. So Venter still in a fight for the top 10, although that fight is a little bit further back now, with Radosevic having another big spin for the 42 car. That will have flat spotted his tyres quite a bit. How did that happen? It looks... I have no words.
This is the control. Now investigating incident between cars 7 and 233 in lap 17, turn 10.
I have a feeling there's going to be another penalty coming. 233 car is being mentioned once again, as Remco Langendijk circulates, trying to get ACC back up and running. Come on. Up behind the Audi, that is for position. So the second Victoria's Secret car, having dwindled a little bit out of the top 10 in the early stages of the race, has suddenly come alive, perhaps with some adjusted tyre pressures. That Aston Martin is starting to behave as it should. Front engine car having a lot of stability and being able to run the curbs a little bit more than the mid-rear Audi in front. Really difficult to judge which curbs are okay here though. And that is... oh no, that's okay. So this is the McLaren that is looking to be lapped. There we go. Let's both cars through nice and sensibly. But that seems to have disadvantaged the 36 somehow. He's dropped back ever so slightly. Yeah. As Miljevic goes around the outside of Paul Venter into the final corner for 12th and 13th. Does the NSX have any answer in a straight line? I don't think it does. On the brakes, big dive by Venter, but it's not going to happen. He has to make the apex. I think that might be the fight well and truly fought. Meanwhile, this fight rages on over 5th position. The rest of the drivers struggling to keep their times consistent with these ever-changing conditions. The track temperature has dropped 2 degrees already in the course of this race. And I'm sure there will be more yet to come. Aston Martin up onto the high banks very briefly. And trying to make some kind of progress into the 175's lead over it, but I don't think that's going to happen. We need to watch the gap between Zoricic and Zak as well in the 175 and 89, because that gap, we were promised big things by Zoricic before the pit stops. We need to see what can be done. That's 2/10 in a sector for the 175 car. This could be a fight over 4th coming up. If Zak can keep it all together, in reality, he could actually reclaim 3rd if he can get back to within 5 seconds of that 24 car. A 30-second penalty for Tadic. Is that new? I think that is a new penalty. Yeah, I think for sure we're about to hear of another penalty for the 84 car. Oh, actually, where's the 233 is retired as well.
This is the race control. Drive-through penalty for car 233 for causing collision.
Not the best of nights then for the 233. Him quitting might have been what crushed my Assetto Corsa actually. That's a thought. No worries, Andrew. You have a lovely evening. I hope you have a great decompress from this race. You absolutely have the worst luck at the moment, man. I really feel for you. Hopefully I'll have some time to pop in 20 streams soon. 11, as the 11 cars got it all very wrong. Where on earth is that on the track? That is... Where was that? That was an almighty off for Radicevich. But somehow the Aston Martin, the Audi keeping the Aston Martin behind. I'm seeing boops. It was not a boop aimed at me. I like that spelling of my name as well. We know how quick that Aston Martin can be when it's in clear air, but tucked up behind the Audi 175 car here, it's a very difficult proposition at the moment, it looks like. Across the line they come. And now the gap is 1.4 seconds. This is going to be a 3-car fight over 4th place. Zoricic is dragging Remco Langendijk to the back of the white Ferrari. And battle will soon be engaged. And I don't think I'm going to have to... Is Mario still in chat? I need to know how confident is Zoricic, Evo. How confident is Evo that he can fight ahead and defend against the Aston Martin? It's going to be a difficult proposition, even in that Audi. A very, very difficult proposition to fight and defend all at the same time, and it's going to drag them all away from that 3rd place 24 car, who has a 5-second penalty. He is closing in on Dan Minton, but the gap is just not coming down enough for him to make a convincing pass. Really isn't. And even if he does pass Minton, I don't think he has the pace to be able to pull out 5 seconds. I think Jonic is going to have to settle for 3rd position at this point. From 18th, a hell of a drive. A hell of a drive in that NSX, and it's going to make me look back at the NSX next time if I end up picking ACC up again for sim racing. I have plans. But the gap is now down to almost a second. Is that the 96 car? That's the 96 car coming into this fray as well. It's going to be 4th down to 7th in a couple of laps' time. Is everybody looking after their tyres properly while they're getting ready for this bun fight? I wouldn't like to place bets on who's going to come out on top there. The Aston Martin has the straight line speed over the Audi. The Ferrari has the straight line speed over the Audi as well, though. There is definitely some... But the Porsche is slowest of all, but it's going to be getting triple dragged down the straights here. You can see the 3 cars ahead. What a view from the dashboard of Mixic here in the 96 car. Let's just appreciate. I'm going to turn the volume on for this. Let's just appreciate the 96 car as it runs down to the start finish for another lap. Oh, the amount of speed that they can carry through turn 1 is just astonishing. Little wiggle from the rear engine Porsche. But nothing that Matej isn't entirely on top of. The gap's coming down now, under a second for that fight. Oh my goodness. It's boiling up nicely, as they say. Just a nice simmer at the moment. Drivers all putting in the times that they can. Prepping themselves, prepping their tyres, prepping their egos, and all of the adrenaline that they're going to need for the closing half hour of this race. That's where the points are going to start making prizes. All at once, the gap becomes under a second between these four cars. And across the line, Krisnich. Has Krisnich fallen back? Where is he? Krisnich has fallen back. The number 3 car? Philip, just tell the car no and you get it. That's the one. He said he will give it his best to defend. Thank you very much, Mario. I appreciate that. No, man. Andrew, I like the way you spelt it. I'm good. I'm going to change all of my names and all my online names to that now. Can I see that Pirate Racing livery? Where are you, Philip? Come on, man. Mixic in the 96 car is one of the Pirate Racing cars, and arguably the more pretty, because it's in a Porsche. Will attack Zach and not just defend. Good man. Jonic is out on his own though. I didn't. Philippe, was it you that made these liveries then? I believe it was. If so, you did a mighty fine job with them. Well done. Oh no. Borovets to the dentists, then. And here it is. The 4-car battle that always ends so well in races like this. That's just the artist. Ah, cool.
This is the race control, now investigating incidents between cars 51 and 84, lap 18, turn 9.
Ooh, that's going to be a fun one. I, again, smell a penalty coming. It's been an evening. It really has been an evening tonight. We jump on board with Remco Langendijk. Tell you what, do you know what? It's no V12, but that Aston does sound very good still. Oh, that's 96 car looks to the inside on Remco Langendijk as the 175 still has a little bit of breathing space before he gets onto the back of the 89 car of Nida Zach. But that Porsche being dragged down the straights, it's one downside of not having the straight line speed, being offset by the cars in front. On the brakes now. I don't actually know. I don't actually know if that's a record for penalties. It's been quite a few. We'll go for that. In the past 5 minutes, Jonic has taken half a second out of Dan Minton in the 888 car. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm cursing it. I realise I'm cursing it. But I think that the Triple 8 car is safe. I'm going to say it. 96 looks to the inside into the S's. It's never going to happen through there. But it doesn't need to. It just needs to unsettle as the 96 got a massive slide going through there. Back on the brakes again. Is it going to be another look up the inside? Is this an escape route for the for the 96 as the number 4 car of Dunster basically absconded from the track to try and get out of the way of this battle? Mixtic will not take part in the battle for the next couple of seconds at least. I am dropping a curse. I know I'm dropping a curse. I'm well aware of what I'm doing. It's so nice to give Dan praise though. He's such a good driver in real life and in sim racing. I've always enjoyed watching him drive. And it breaks my heart that I've never been able to say that he has won a race while I've been commentating. I took a break last season and he won a race in that season. I am so heartbroken. Is that the 51 in front? No, it's the 89. The 89 got a wiggle on through turn 6 there, and suddenly the battle is well and truly joined as the Aston Martin goes around the outside of the Audi 175. He's going to have the inside for the square left at the end of the back straight, and in the end a fairly simple pass for the 36 car. But that slight bit of squabbling has backed them out from each other, but is dragging the 96 car back into it as well. So now it's the Aston Martin turn to have a shot at the Ferrari. The strengths lie in a reasonably similar way, but who has the top speed, who has the handling? Ferrari goes defensive straight off of the final corner. The Audi's going to sit on the racing line. Aston's not having a look in here. Remco's not the kind of person to have a blind dive anyway. You better believe when he makes that attack, it is going to be a decisive one. Need to see if the Ferrari is going to have the grip. I don't think Zach has the grip. That's where the pace has gone. The Ferrari is still lightning fast in a straight line. But we get through the twisty stuff and it's just not able to keep with the pace of the cars behind. It is that straight line speed that is saving the Ferrari for now. Look at how it just opens up on this when you get any kind of throttle acceleration section. But now the Porsche looks into the Audi. This could be Zorachic's downfall. Porsche up underneath the rear wing of the Audi shouldn't have a straight line advantage, but if he can get the drive, can't get it on this way. The Audi begins to walk away in the straights, but what can he do under braking? Porsche's hunting for the grip. Gets down to the apex. The Audi misses the apex, but gets the cut back on the wrong line for turns 3 and 4, but there's nothing the Porsche can do about it. On the brakes again. Leaves the Porsche space this time. Once again, not sure whether he was going to have the space.
This is the race control. 10-second time penalty for car number 84 for causing collision and driving standards. Now investigating incident between cars number 3 and 96, lap 38, turn 4.
It's the BMWs, man. They need ballasting. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. The performance envelope of those M4s is not GT3. I don't know what it is, but they have far too much braking performance for this class. Way too much. Tadic, meanwhile, hunting down Slobodan Kostic. I actually think it's the other way around. 51 versus 84, side by side, they come through turns 1 and 2. 51 on the defensive. Now, as it's a BMW involved in a fight. Nothing happened there, but what is happening is Remco Langendijk goes to the outside of the 89 Ferrari. Can't make it happen through there. Tries to get an undercut, but the Ferrari is offline, and it's a big wobble for the 36 car. So clearly on the absolute edge of adhesion for Remco Langendijk here. I said to you on YouTube that you said he can't catch Minton. He'll try to prove you wrong. Good, good. Is that so? Was he like settling back and saving himself third position? Oh, big moment for the 175. I don't know as he was pushed by the 96 there. Was there? Hang on. Was there contact? No, I don't think so. Close racing, of course, but that's the 84 car. So Tadic makes the place. I think this is going to be a retirement. I think that's going to be a retirement for sure. Oh, he's trying hard. He's pushing hard to get P2. Awesome. I mean, it's gonna be hard. Oh, what was that then? System reset or something? I was expecting the rage quit, but I'm going to say that BMW had an issue with their force feedback or something along those lines. I can't think of anything else that would cause that. Technical issues then, a night to forget for the 84 car, not least of which it's going to be hard because of that 5-second penalty. I heartily agree. And as we come under the half-hour mark, the gap has now come down to 2 seconds. What on earth? Why? Why did I say anything? Why did I say anything? Why did you have to say anything to Zoran? So rude. The fight for fourth rages on here as well. One car less for the time being in the form of Zoricic, who has been pushed out. Who is that that's just gone? 84 car into the pits then. I dare say that may be cause for retirement. Or Aston Martin's got the straight line speed, doesn't have enough of it though to get to the inside through turn 1. I said Remco's not the kind of person to blind dive. He really isn't the kind of person to blind dive. Oh, it's going to be a fight over second position as well soon. Oh, that's going to be terrifying to watch. Okay. We need 2 cameras. That's what we need. We need two viewpoints at the same time to be able to capture all of this. Good drive off the corner there for Remco. Just a question over what he can do to capitalise that. Ferrari is looking very tiptoey. But look at look at how the Aston just floats over the curbs. Oh man, these front engine cars, they are super stable. Into the last corner complex. And he's closer, but can Langendijk get the traction down? He looks closer. He looks a lot closer. This could be the one. Ferrari knows it. Drifts across towards the centre of the road. Gives himself options. He has the overspeed. Remco pulls out really early though. Big brakes glowing on the front of the Aston Martin, avoiding the collision with the Ferrari. We've seen plenty of taps on the back of Ferraris tonight. We didn't want to see another one in this fight for fourth position. But my goodness, what a show these guys are putting on for us. If you're still keen to watch the rest of this race, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe to the ISDA channel. The only place you can get racing that is this clean most of the time. And this competitive. What a race we are having here. As they come into the final complex of corners again, the Aston Martin is actually a little bit further back this time. It could be a run coming up here. He's over to the far right-hand side of the track a little bit earlier. Down to first gear in that second to last corner as well. There are possibilities here. Oh, he's inching closer. The Ferrari goes super defensive. This could be an attack to the outside. Is he going to make it happen on the brakes? They're both pretty equal on the brakes. The Ferrari is side by side. Will get into the apex, leaves the Aston space, but tries to cut the nose off through turn 2. Through turn 3 they come now. The Aston's going to try and cut back underneath, but the Ferrari is wise to it. Goes round the middle and loses traction. The tyres, a melted ball of rubber for the Ferrari, and now it is Mercedes, Aston Martin, Honda, Aston Martin, Porsche. As the timing screens update. There is still a fight on between Langendijk and Mixic here. It's not over yet. But perhaps a bit of clear air, a stalwart defense by the Ferrari. The widest Ferrari you've ever seen. Although that is yet to be seen if the 296 is anything to go by. Looking forward to that massively. Too bad for the Ferrari, yes. I do think that the tyres may have been ever so slightly melted on there. And now it's Pirate Racing v Pirate Racing for fourth. And it's Pirate Racing versus Pirate Racing for... Pirate Racing. Oh, wow. As the Porsche got a massive drive off of the final corner, it is now the Porsche that takes fourth. It is Victoria's Secret Racing and Pirate Racing fighting. As the Aston gets on the brakes, that is the position lost. Out of the final corner, the Porsche had all the stability. It looks like Langendijk had a wiggle. And now that is the Porsche promoted to fourth position. What can the 888 car do to defend against the might of the Pirate Racing NSX? Yep, I totally agree. Thankfully, the fight over fourth position seems to have resolved itself just in time for the fight for second to take a massive dive into the final complex. The 24 car taking an entirely different line to the 888 car. Aston Martin with the hulking V8 in the front. Drive through for Mate Miksik, though. That, I think... That is astonishing.
This is the race control. Drive-through penalty for car number 96. Now investigating incident between
What was that for?
82 for causing collision, sorry. Now investigating incident between cars 82 and 89, lap 39, turn 6.
A drive-through penalty for the 96 car after all of the hard work the Mate Miksik has put in. Suddenly, Remco Langendijk is getting a second lease of life for that 4th position and has a gap of 2 seconds to the good for the 175, who has taken Nida Zak. The tyres well and truly melted on that 89 car. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. In the closing moments of this race, the tables turn once again. The rear gunner that Jonic had in the form of the 96 Porsche is no longer. And if Langendijk can bring himself up into this fight over 3rd and 2nd position, there is plenty of work to be done. And plenty to be said for having a teammate up behind in the race. I think that'll be Miksik into the pits. It should be him into the pits this time around. Give me a second, I'll look. No, he's circulating round. Okay, so the gap is 26 seconds. That isn't going to have any impact on this battle over 2nd position. A drive-through for the 96, though. That's punishing. That is going to drop him all the way down, perhaps out of the top 10. If he's not incredibly careful with how he does this. He has the clear air. Oh, as the NSX massively outbrakes himself. And perhaps the Aston Martin. It looks as though Jonic is taking my threat seriously. As Miksik will lose position. Is he in the pits yet? No. Miksik's got it wrong. Somewhere. In a really big way as well. Oh, he got it very wrong.
This is the race control. Drive-through penalty for car 89 for causing collision.
Drive-through for the 89 car, so Nida Zak too will be... The hammer is coming down now as the driving standards are deemed to be a little bit terrible. And this is going to be heartbreak for Miksik and heartbreak for Nida Zak after running in 3rd for so much of the race. Drive-through for causing a collision for Nida Zak. As Jonic now still up behind the Aston Martin. It looks as though there's enough pace in the NSX. The problem that he's got is that he keeps outbraking himself up to the back of the Aston Martin. There we go, a lot cleaner this time by. And now potentially Poor Jonic. Yep. Such a difficult race for the 24 car. One position better than he got last time out. As the AAA car misses the apex. I don't know if that was necessarily defensive, but this is a big opportunity for the Pirate Racing driver, who has the straight line speed. Is Minton even going to go defensive? He stays across the hatchings on the left-hand side of the road. He's not going to defend this. He's going to try and make it happen on the brakes. They both brake exactly the same time, and the pass is made. Now, all Minton has to do is stay within 5 seconds of that 24 car. The question is that even possible? I think it is. I think Minton has the performance to do it. It's just, this is a battle that we're going to have to keep a very close eye on. 15 minutes and 5 seconds. I don't know. It's Minton's turn to run in the dirty air. But is he going to get ragged trying to attack where before he was trying to be conservative with his inputs? But it is Victoria's Secret Racing to 3rd and 4th position. It would be better if it was 2nd and 3rd, but it will do them no harm in the championship to outscore basically everyone. I would be very tempted to drop out to a second gap and see. In the waiting booth, sorry. Very good point. Who's in the waiting room? We have a couple of drivers in the waiting room? Okay, I will drag a Mr. Venter into the combox. I assume a retirement for yourself.
Hello,
is
Mr.
the cause of issues. Good evening, my friend. So how many shots do you owe me?
Probably 3. At least 3. Yes.
Were they all your fault?
Well, I'm giving you 3 because I kind of gave up.
Right.
I, as we said, this is kind of, we tested this, use this race as a test for our upcoming series that we're doing. And yeah, the car just runs out of rear tires 35 minutes in, and I was eventually 2 seconds a lap slower than what I was at the start of my stint. And I didn't really want to carry on going. I might cause an issue, or, you know, so I said, no, rather be safe. We've got the data we need to see what we need to improve on, and because we're not really going to be contending for the championships or anything, we decided to park it and enjoy the race. But it was fun while I was in the thick of things. Lap 1 was good chaos. Yeah,
just a little bit. Running very high up the field for a test race.
Yeah, no, that was quite scary, and just missing everyone. It was good fun, and then it looked like we were up for probably about a P10 spot until both stints the tires just let go, and then the car just becomes undrivable.
Of course.
Yeah, and then I had a few spins, and Niall laughed because we said I had more near-death experiences in this race than I've had probably in my actual life. The amount of times I was looking at a wall and didn't hit the wall. So yeah, it was good fun.
It's all right. The last time you saw me driving, you saw me staring at walls as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's only fair.
But yeah, it was
very wrong into turn 1, into the turn 13 complex.
But it was great fun. I thought I just wanted to pop in and say thanks, guys, and then keep it up.
It's always a pleasure to hear your voice, Paul. Tell all the LNR guys that I send my love, and tell them they need to come back here, because
I think we will definitely in the woof as Miljevik runs. Wow,
there were breaks there somewhere.
Yes. But yeah, no, we definitely, I think in the new year, we definitely need to, we'll have a chat with the group. We want to put together a community versus community, in a sense. So I think it's definitely, if we partner with maybe 3 or 4 communities, put a stewarding team together out of the 4 communities, you know, so that there's no biasness between anyone and no one can accuse anyone. And then we can have a bit of fun, some gentlemen, good fun. You know, we've got this idea where each community picks a track and weather combo, and you know, we race it, and you don't qualify. We set the grid, and we'll kind of figure out what we use as a criteria to set the grid. You know, so I think it's something different, and something to get communities involved with each other.
I was going to say, is this you trying to book me for next year already?
Well, but I'm booking you for racing, not for commentating. You're racing. There we go. You see.
Yeah, you need a moving chicane, right?
There we go.
Perfect. Well, commiserations, but at least you got the data off the car, Paul.
That's it. Thanks for the racing, man, and then enjoy. I will watch the stream to the end and see who will take P3.
Yeah, I think the pace of Jonic at the moment, having some clear air in front of him, it's a formidable challenge. I think he might be up to it though.
Yeah, it's gonna be key to see if he can get that 5 seconds.
100%. Have a lovely evening, Paul.
You too. Thanks, man.
Great to see you. See ya.
Bye.
Hang on. So we have one of the old race directors waiting for interview. Andre, welcome to Combox. You're a bit early.
Good evening. I'm so sorry. Could you repeat the question?
You're a bit early. Normally we wait till the end of the race to get your roundup of how the race has gone. We still have 10 minutes remaining. Are you that confident that we're not going to have any more issues?
I don't expect there to be any big issues. There still might be some incidents worth reviewing, but since this is an endurance race, I would like to give the drivers space after the race, so we wouldn't, sit here till midnight.
No, of course.
So I used this period of calmness to come over.
So how has the race been from the race director's perspective then?
The race has everything. It has good racing. It has some door rubbing. It has some obvious penalties. It has some non-obvious penalties. It has drama in the beginning. It has everything.
Speaking of that drama at the start, it was a very un-ISDA-like race start. Do you think that comes from the nature of this Indianapolis circuit, or do you think that was just maybe a bit of rust being blown away? Because we do have quite a few driver names that we haven't seen in the first round.
I would say that it was basically one bad collision that then caused a lot of mayhem. Other than that, first turn has seen its share of incidents in this race, so it could be that it's specific for this track. That it's troublesome.
I'm challenging your English tonight, aren't I?
I'm usually like that on live stream. Nervous. I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to misspeak. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you haven't misspoken yet, and I dare say that you haven't made a poor decision yet, along with the rest of the stewards. It's been an exhilarating race from start to finish. It's almost nice that we've gotten to the point now where the cars are a little spaced out and we can appreciate, as I dare say, Jonic might actually have overcome that 5-second deficit to Minton. I think this is Jonic going to second position. officially with 6 minutes left to go.
Let me check.
And neither Zach with that incredible drive early on in the race to then have a drive-through and lose so many places. Have you been keeping track of that at all?
Yes. I think the drive-through penalty here is like 50 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, I estimated about 40 seconds, but yeah, 50. It wouldn't surprise me if it was 50 seconds. It's a big penalty.
I think one of the stewards was watching the race this weekend on GT World Series, and they were talking about it, and it was around 50 seconds.
Crazy.
But possible that it will be different in the game.
Yeah, it depends on the speed limit.
Yes, yeah. But here the speed limit is quite low. It's 50. It's maybe lowest that there is, I think.
Really? So it could be even longer. I didn't actually get an opportunity to.
No. I think
do a test.
I think the 50 kilometers an hour in this game, that in this pit that is there, is the lowest I've seen in any pit limit.
Yeah, yeah. I must admit, I do think that lower pit lane speed limits are a good thing. It's a massive, obviously it's a massive penalty. But whether it's in sim racing or whether it's in real racing, you don't take jokes when there's people walking around in a live pit lane.
Yes.
So even though this is sim racing, we're doing this as close to reality as we can possibly get. I do think that it's the right decision to keep making them slower and slower, because it's the one time. You have to remember, I was brought up when they started bringing in 20-mile-per-hour speed zones for around school areas and things like that in the UK, and the change in attitude from that lowering of the speed, drivers pay so much more attention because they can see more. And when
they have more time to react.
Yeah, when it's
well.
a penalty that everybody is having to take when they make pit stops anyway, there's no reason to have it at anywhere above 40 miles per hour, 60 kilometers per hour. I don't see a reason for that at all.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a drive-through, then it makes that penalty all the more harsh.
Exactly. So on some tracks, giving a 30-second penalty and drive-through penalty are quite similar, and on some tracks like this or Spa, it's far from it.
Yes, absolutely. Spa, I think, is the extreme end of that, and I think that there's ever so it is ever so slightly overkill, I think, to be having drive-throughs for at that endurance pits is just not good.
Yes.
I think that would be something that would be nice to have another look at. I know when we go to Spa, you change them from drive-throughs to 30-second penalties, if I remember correctly.
I think
Something like that.
we did take it into consideration.
Yeah, so as always, utmost fairness coming from the ISDA stewards, and hopefully the last couple of minutes of this race you get to sit back and actually enjoy the race.
I hope so.
Pass my regards on to everyone else. I think we're going to have to disappear as soon as the stream's ending tonight. But you have a lovely evening. I hope you don't get any more incidents coming your way. And we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, I hope no more incidents as well. Thank you for having me, and we'll see you next time.
Always a pleasure, Andre. See you then. That was terrible. Right. I have been struggling with my words tonight, and that was the epitome of it. I'm very sorry, Andre. And I still can't pronounce it a big slide for the 89 car. to make his night even worse for the Niedersack car. Following Otto Winkler here with Marsic
Alright, man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
on the hunt behind. Audi versus Bentley for the final position in the race. Just inside the top 10, however, and being hunted by the leader, actually. D'Couza and Krishnic are coming together on the final lap of the race. So, what can we say to sum up? It was a messy start to the race, but that's the kind of racing that leads to this kind of performance. Mathieu X was peerless in the previous series here. It's always been, as the BMW goes off super wide, as does the leader. I said he's peerless. The curse rings true. Last race out, he was 12th at Spa. But today in America, at Indianapolis in Indiana, it doesn't matter how many times he goes wide now, his position is secure as the leader of this 2-hour race. He just needs to stroke it home through these final two corners. He's getting the wiggle on. He's still trying. Mathieu Mex negotiates the final corner and will come across the line to win round 2 of the International Sim Drivers Association GT3 World Challenge Autumn season in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Not long behind will be the 24 car of Zoran Jonjic, who comes around in towards the final sector. He kept the charge. There we go. 18th position was where he started. 18th position is no longer running anymore, but he went from 18th to 2nd and will take the lead in the championship for sure. And with a drive like that, I think we need to get everyone over to the from Zoran's chat to ISDA to get him to come and sing for us. 3rd for the Aston Martin of Dan Minton, and a big old flick of oversteer to celebrate. I feel as though that may have been the slightest bit of frustration. In the end, Remco Langendijk will bring the 36 car home with a safe margin in 4th position. Ivo Zoricic will come across the line 7 seconds later to come 5th. D'Couza will bring the number 80 Honda to 6th position. Igor Krishnic will come home in 7th in the number 3 BMW. Velato will finish 8th in the number 14. Miksik in 9th after that drive-through penalty. What a massive error of judgment for him. Radosevic in the 11 car will come home 10th. Miljevic in the 7 McLaren will come home in 11th. Niedersack will come home in 12th, with Slobodan Kostic in the 51 Ferrari in 13th. Dunster will bring the number 4 in 14th. 15th will be Miljevic in the 998. Otto Winkler will come home in 16th. 17th will be Marsic. Tadic will come home in 20th, and then we start to get into the DNFs. So we wait now for the drivers to have a drink and a slight cool down. And once again, we'd like to thank Sim Racing Pro for sponsoring this series, and we will run that ad again for them once more and be back, hopefully, with the drivers and interviews. So, just waiting for the drivers to come and say hello to us. First into the comp box, and in a very different position to what we've seen him up until now. Mali Bacho, I've just this race realised that I've been pronouncing your surname wrong the entire time that I've known you.
So did you correct yourself then?
You are Slobodan Kostic, aren't you?
Yes.
I am an idiot. How was your race, Mali? It was a lot of work. You were running as high as, I think, 7th in the
in the start.
At the start of the race. A lot of hard defensive work, and you weren't. You weren't the cause of quite a few penalties in that race. But the people chasing you, you would think that when drivers see your name ahead of them, they'd be on their best behavior.
No, I'm glad that it was, and I hope it was the true behavior, because there's no need to treat me differently than anyone else. I'm here as a driver, and I hope that nobody will expect that they will get a harsher penalty for punting me,
No.
that I will get away with some stuff. And I have full trust in the race control that it will be the case. I had a blistering lap 1, went with no contacts ahead of everyone, and then it was all about defending, because I knew the tire would hit, and it hit me pretty badly, so it was a lonely race towards the end.
Yeah, it absolutely was. The amount of times we saw a couple of drivers, we saw drivers punting you, and it's just those slight taps that just give that little bit of damage that adds up and adds up and adds up. What was the back end of that Ferrari like come the end of the race?
No, it was not bad. There were only slight taps most of the time. In the end, I accumulated 7 seconds of damage at the end of first stint, and it was only bodywork, so I thought it was not worth repairing, so I just left it like that and made it through to the end.
That's fair, I understand that. But how did you find Indianapolis?
Oh, it's the first time I race here.
No, I know, that's why I asked you.
Very limited. It's weird. It's for me like it's all American tracks. Well, not all, but most of them. They're just I don't understand it, because you have I don't know, maybe you're expecting a wide runoff, you don't have it. You expect a wider track on the corner exit, you don't have it. So it's not something that we're really used to with European tracks and also with tracks around the world. So yeah, American tracks are definitely a different experience, most of them.
They are absolutely a different breed. I absolutely love the challenge of them. I really do.
I don't.
I'm weird though. You know that.
But you know that I'm also weird. But now I'm knackered from the race. I'm tired so much that it's. I was minced by this track.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a hard track. You can tell that it was designed to really push the limits of Formula 1 cars when they designed it.
Yeah, it's really rewarding when you get it right, but to get it right, it requires a lot of practice. And what I mentioned in our chats earlier, it requires you to be like one with the car.
Yes.
So this whole track, for me, it's like, I don't know, Bathurst Sector 2, like over the mountain. Either you trust your car or you crash.
Yep.
So luckily you don't crash here that much, because there are a lot of grass areas for you to stop and runoffs. But to get it right, to get it quickly done, I mean, it's full thrust in your car or nothing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to, unfortunately, move on to the other drivers, but Ali, thank you for coming in and saying hi. Thank you for giving us a massive amount of entertainment.
Thank you. Hopefully,
through
I
the
hope
race.
that you saw me quite a lot in the first stint.
Next time, you need to make a livery.
Yeah.
You need an ISDA livery. That's what you need.
Yes, indeed.
So, but have a good rest of your evening. I'm going to go and collapse in a minute once we've done these driver interviews.
Thank you very much.
Have a lovely evening, mate. We'll catch you in a
You
bit.
too. Bye-bye.
And next into the com box, we will grab probably one of the more popular drags into the com box, as Zoran Jonic joins us in the box. And I am told that you absolutely have to sing after climbing from 18th to 2nd.
I already told my guys that it's not first, so the deal was if I win the race. So not this time. I know that they want that, but if I win, it will be singing from me, no problem.
And when are you going to get them to come and raid the ISDA chat with all of the Jonic support?
I will get them in communications here, so we can all sing together, no
That's the
problem.
one. Oh,
Yes.
perfect. Oh, I love that. That's a great idea.
All right.
That's an awesome idea. Now, I was trying to think of when we were winding down the race. I was trying to think of an equivalence of like in Formula One terms. So you did a Hamilton, you did a Verstappen, etc., etc., etc. But the thing is that they all have the best cars. Your car is balanced against the rest of the field. So 18th to 2nd, you've done more, and to pull out 8 seconds in the end on top of Minton to secure that second place. I think that's fair to say that you're a better driver than either Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton.
Oh my God! Come on.
I think that's fair to say.
Too much. That's a little bit too much.
No, but you hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. Car was working great in second stint. First, I want to apologize to Mali Bacho because I hit him while trying to overtake. I kind of rushed at the beginning to make some, I don't know, I call that like overtakes on muscles, you know.
Yeah.
And
muscle your way through.
Yeah, that was a little bit too much for me, and the penalty was deserved. I hope that he didn't have so much damage. In first stint, I had like 2.5 seconds of damage, but I was quicker than other guys, but problem was my pressures weren't alright, because I thought that I will be in front so I can drive my pace. So when you're driving like 2 seconds of pace, pressures goes down and problems start. So my tires were gone like after half an hour.
Yeah, of course.
And after that, after the pit stop, everything came together, and basically I drove my pace. That's it. And Honda was, I don't know, was very good here. I don't know, is it the best car for this track? Probably not.
It's one of the prettiest.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, but I don't know. Pace was great. I was trying to concentrate in the end and made that. Try to run from Minton, and I think his tires were dead, so it wasn't that like hard task for me. So I don't know. Car was great. Everything was great in the second stint. Shame. Somebody hit me. I don't know anything what happened in the race at the moment. I don't know who hit me in the beginning. What happened in turn one? I will watch the stream later.
It was an absolute melee at the start of the race. I wouldn't wish that kind of start to the race on anyone. But you came back from the greatest adversity.
Yeah.
To take second place. As you say, it's not a win, but I'm sure that win is not going to take too long to come.
Yeah, I hope so. But race was great in the end. Many overtakes. Some of them were great. Some of them were, I don't know. I need to practice that a little bit more, like braking offline and stuff. but I tried to be safe. I hit Bacha. That was the I think only problem, and everything else I think was fine. So I'm happy, really happy, and was great entertainment for my viewers too. So
Absolutely. No,
yeah.
absolutely. Well, it was great entertainment for us on this end as well. The external shots were absolutely breathtaking. That
Yeah.
pirate
Do you like
racing
the livery?
The pirate racing livery I was about to say looks epic.
Yeah,
It
guys
looks
made
so
great
good.
job on
Yeah,
that.
man.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that looks awesome. It makes me want to play with it even more. I got to be honest. But yeah, I need to get back behind the wheel.
You should,
but,
but I like listening your commentary. It's really great voice and really great stream in the end. So
this is the problem though. I either have to let people down because they want to hear me commentate, or I let people down because I'm on the track.
you have the problem because you're really good at that job. So you never should like put so I don't know.
I shouldn't.
You should lower the quality. So
I would never do such a thing. That would be very, very rude of me to do so.
Great stream, great,
Right.
great everything. Yeah.
I've also, while we're on pronunciations, I've also heard that your first name is really hard to pronounce for a Luddite English speaker like myself.
Yeah, it's if you in Croatian like it's Zoran, but
okay.
in English it's everybody calls me like Zoran.
Yeah.
But I don't mind.
Zoran. Oh. Yeah, okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. I'll work on it.
Okay.
Zoran. Too many.
Yes.
Too many. Yeah. Zoran Jonic.
Okay. 8 of 10.
Perfect. I'll take 8 out of 10 from the first try.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, Zoran, it was a beautiful drive. It was an excellent display of patience as well as aggressive driving. It's been wonderful watching, and I hope that you take it to that Mercedes next time out because Mattia hasn't come to speak to us tonight.
Okay, I hope so.
Have a lovely evening, my friend. We'll speak to you next time.
Thank you, you too. Thank you for everything. Bye.
Cheers. And last into the commentary box, because he's the last man to come and speak to us, Matej Miksik.
Hello.
What happened, man? What a race!
Yeah, crazy. It was really crazy. I had damage, I don't know, like 4 seconds, but it was not really bad. But overtaking on this track, it's really hard, and you need to be really brave and on the right position to take it. But otherwise, it was very, very good.
Yeah.
At least from my position, I think.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, I saw you talking about the penalty that you got.
Yeah. I had 2 or 3 minor incidents, but I wasn't sure for what was it. I just wanted to view it.
No, that's fair. It was a very difficult race. To be fair. And out at Spa, Philippe and Romano were saying about how they thought the Porsche was going to be really, really slow on this track in these conditions. I didn't see any evidence of that.
I don't know. It's not really the best, but it's not the worst. But the tires are going in like 5-6 laps if you push it really hard, and then you just need to adapt to how much understeer you have after. And the balance is changing very much after like 20-30 minutes with the fuel.
Yeah,
it's fun times.
I was going to say, we had Malian saying earlier that you need to really trust your car, and if you can't trust your car, you're never going to be quick around here. Is that something you'd agree with?
Yeah, of course. Sometimes with the Porsche, because it's so slow on the straights, it's really hard if you don't try to make a little dive bomb or something, because otherwise it's not really any space to overtake anybody. Especially if they position themselves right on the corner.
Oh yeah, Indianapolis is a nightmare of a track to overtake on. You need to either have a good, like, half a second to a second of pace on the car that you're overtaking, or you need to be very, very close and very brave. We saw a lot of excellent driving from Remco.
Yeah, he was
In the Aston
really
Martin.
good. But his pace started to fall down in the middle of stints. I don't know.
It looks as though the Aston Martins are struggling the same as yourselves with the rear tires. But it was still an astonishing display from Pirate Racing and Victoria's Secret Racing. The only man in the top 3 or 4 that was ever really competing for the victory was Mex in that Adria Racing Team Mercedes.
Yeah, he was fast, really, really fast.
I have so many questions for that man, and I want his setup to start with.
Yeah, I would like to try that because I had a really hard time to take care of my car, but it was fun. I don't know.
Yeah. We aren't going to COTA, thank goodness, because my God, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy either.
10 drive-throus.
That's the one. That's the one. Too much tarmac.
Exactly.
But the rest of the season, you got high hopes for for what we have coming?
For the next track, no, because it's Monza and it's not good there.
No.
Especially for the practice, I don't like it. In the race, it's fine, but practice and getting fast there, it's crazy. I don't like it.
Well, there is an argument to be made for just taking all the wing off and trying to survive.
We will need to do that for sure, but...
I was going to say, does that still work with Porsches?
I don't know on what setting wing is on Monza, but it's slow, like 2-3 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have the straight line speed. You'll be doing the Ferrari thing of dragging each other along the straights to get quali lap in.
I hope so. I hope I will be close to someone who can drag me.
Yeah. Get on to your other Porsche, the other Mark mates, the other Pirate Racing boys. See if you can drag each other along the straights.
Yeah, we will need to think
those
something.
Quali laps. Yep. Well, I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Bit of a turn down for the books tonight, but massive performance from yourself, Messi.
Thank you very much.
I hope you have a great week, and we'll hopefully be speaking to you next week.
Thank you, you too. See you.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye. And that just about rounds up the end of this stream. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I can see the Minton clan are celebrating the 3rd place for Minton, which promotes him to 4th in the championship. With that 3rd position, great run from Minton today, even if he was struggling in the latter stages. And for the teams, I did say it. Victoria's Secret Racing, 48 points to Pirate Racing's 39. The Porsches not turning up tonight for the lead team really have hurt the championship fight in this early stage of the championship. We take it all to Monza next time, and I hear from a little birdie that it's going to be raining. My name has been Alex Guy, and we will all speak to you next week from the Italian countryside. Goodbye.